All right, right on, guys. Sorry about that. Go ahead and let me know right now if you guys can hear me. We got some new equipment going on. We're trying to test out some new shit. As you can see, we're not doing this over the phone like we usually do. We're trying a new podcast thing format. And I'm gonna clip this off of here, but let me know in the comments if you have sound. Was that it?
No, I'm looking at it right now.
Jamie says thumbs up. It's a bit not specific, Jamie. We would love if you were to let us know that you can hear us specifically. But I think we're good.
Yo.
It's still saying I gotta wait a minute and a half.
You have to wait to get on? Oh. Because it has to like
To wait to get on? Oh.
We're having an inception. It's gonna. It's like we're literally in a time machine of podcast. At least now we know we have audio because they can hear this. But
At least now we know we have audio.
Can you hear me well?
How does yeah? Well, go ahead and say something.
Check 1, 2.
What better way to find out that you have audio than to play yourself? How distracting would that be the whole time? You could, after a second, you could hear it feedbacking to itself over and over again. That was kind of weird. All right, I'm gonna put the chat back on, and then now I can read the comments. Sorry about that, guys. It's all fucking fun though. I know you guys get it. But all right, to kick this shit back off, this is my boy Benji. He is a musician. I am a musician. We have been since we were fucking kids. We came up together playing music. And whenever he reached out to me saying that he was fitting to publish a book, I was like, dude, let's go. And I smashed that whole thing before it ever, by the way, I got the privilege of reading it first. But and then I got to write a little review on it and everything. And now it's currently out. Two-Way Silhouette is out. It's a book of poetry inspired by something that we have in common, which is an unfortunate divorce with kids. We both got it. We both got a case of it. And your book is beautiful, dude.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, it's it seems to be the common thing these days, the divorce with kids. But everything does happen for a reason.
Indeed.
We do believe in it. So
yes.
The book though, man. Yeah, it was to start off like it was honestly a privilege to come to you, because it was such a huge inspiration, like where we have come from. The small town in Missouri to
Hawk Point.
Hawk Point. To this is and I don't know. It was very inspiring to see your book, and after reading it, and then going through what I went through,
right.
I certainly needed a little validation there, and luckily I had you. Luckily you are you, and that.
I remember when you came over before the book was even in your mind, because you had just gotten word that it was over. It was done for.
Well, that's the thing is like the book was in my mind, because what the book is it started out. I was on the verge of alcoholism. Like we had got married, something wasn't right inside. I was drinking excessively. Like before work, after work, during work, sometimes it was terrible. And we had kind of a fallout. And after that, luckily at the time, we were able to make amends or push through it, more so for the kids, I guess. But we got through it, and something that I did to hold myself accountable to the relationship, and to prove who I am in this thing of love, that I fucking walk around with a big flag all the time. Like I had to okay, it's really time to fucking
to embody that philosophy.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking practice what you preach. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. And so my accountability was to once a week stop and smell the flowers. Relish in those thoughts of what what love is and was with that person at the time, and just find, and that was the pen to paper, to do that was really special, and I would write them at different times throughout the at different times in the week, like at work or whenever, and I would just send them to her randomly, you know. So it was just like, you know,
you can make yourself see the silver lining.
Yeah,
like you can force yourself, like, listen, motherfucker, this world is beautiful. Look at it. You have some. If you're down, you have to make yourself do that.
You do. Yeah, and that, you know, it's just like getting yourself out and exercising. Like it's just a mental exercise. Like you literally have to do it. You know, and
pen to paper is push-ups for the brain. For real,
it is. Like, I mean, any of the hardest things, or like the first hardest thing I went through in my life, like if it was. Luckily, as a musician, you know, like who we were, like that was when I started writing my music. Was when I was in such a frustrated state that I didn't know what else to do. I literally did not know what else to do.
Claustrophobic fucking feeling,
and it was like radiating off of me. Like I was, you know, like, and I had to fix that. And luckily, the pen to paper. So with that, you know, that helped me turn myself into what I would consider a poet. Sort,
well, dude, you're an alchemist now because you have turned lead into gold.
Oh, well.
Dude, like think about it. Like when I was reading the poems from your book, it brought me shivers because, and this is one of those things where I'm not sure somebody who hasn't experienced it would be able to comprehend the words in your book, because my divorce is fresh as well, a year and a half ago, roughly. Yours is a little bit fresher than that. We were about the same time.
Year, actually.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things where you can illustrate this point of time in a man's life as well as you want. But whenever I read it, dude, I was like, that one, that's what I felt. Or fucking that one right there. Because I remember just sitting one day and knowing it was going to happen and knowing there's nothing I could do about it, dude. And it's just this claustrophobic, like you can't breathe.
Yeah.
You can't pick up a guitar in that moment. You can't go exercise. You can't, whatever the things are.
It's very numbing. And one thing that I've learned is like the numbing is not just like it's everything. Right. The numb is like literally everything weighing, you know, and that blocked me for a long time too, you know. So that, you know, again, that's what, like, coming out of the alcoholism was a whole new me, a whole new light, and you know, still me, luckily. But like I said, I had to prove to myself that I am this person. You know?
I love the way you phrased it. You had to make yourself stop and smell the roses, stop and smell the flowers, because that is one of the most important things you can do. Like whenever my boy pops up in one of the podcasts, he's my little flower right here. I get to. Oh, and he's ticklish, I guess. Wash your feet. But are you gonna type to everybody? Yeah. All right. Emery will be in the chat with you guys
for a couple minutes.
For a couple minutes. He's too cool to be on here for very long.
I'm gonna be on
but all right. So like, I know that a lot of people.
Wash your feet.
Oh no, watch your feet. I guess yeah. But so as a musician,
should I wash?
Yeah, that's wash. You got it, buddy. Well, you should do that too. People ask all the time why my music is so dark. And in a way, we're like yin and yang, because you guys will find out soon. Your music is a brighter side. His band is called A Brighter Side. And I fucking love watching you guys' videos. It makes me fucking happy. You guys are like the new Bob Marley. So that's the way I see it, at least.
Well, thank you. I mean, if that's how it's taken by some or any, that's beautiful in itself. Like, because that's all that it is.
I wanted you guys to be called Caucasian Bob Marley. Yeah, but that wasn't going to happen. So
that's pretty fun.
But no, you're able to twist these things and see, well, quite pun intended, a brighter side of darkness. See, with me, I dump all of my shadow archetype into my music, and it just comes out.
Which is, you know, that's what works for me. Such as art, you know, and to each their own. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and you know, over the years, coming more accustomed or more comfortable with who I am, and you know, the journey of loving myself. Like I love that I am so grateful that I'm like a conduit of love. Period. You know, like of a bright, like shiny kind of like happy-go-lucky. Like it does it has its downfalls, you know, like fucking, you
People
know, got like
expect
that ditzy blonde kind of thing
Well,
going for me too,
I suppose-
which like bleeds into.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, that's my suffering. You know, it's
Yeah.
like oh fuck, you know, but
Right.
it's.
I've never ran into you in the world and not been like, oh shit, like my day just got better. But at the same time, that could be expected of you at certain points whenever you're down, which you had that, you know, dark phase in your life or whatever. But at the same time, whenever you are that character and you're a fucking beacon of light, right? Just a happy person in the world. Whenever you actually are down, people are available. People are like, okay, what's up? Let's fucking hear it. Let's not as much as you think.
Not as much. I mean, I guess it just in my experience. I mean, I do have those people,
right?
You know, they're that, and not to disregard anything like that, because I do have that in people, and more so in music.
Right.
Being able to have a vent like that.
Right.
Again, so grateful. Like my gosh, you know, to see what other people put themselves through and deal with. And not to have that, you know, that's kind of selfish of me, I feel, to say, but like, gosh, I'm just so damn grateful, like, to be a musician, or you know, and I'm sure you can, even though yours is like on more on the darker side, which is, you know, it's still, and people, there's a, you know,
I don't know what I would do without it.
Exactly. No, it's like my kid. It's like the kids, you know, like they are like your little babies, you know. And it's,
well, that's why I would like to, anybody who takes this interview, like, I couldn't imagine being a divorced dad and not having an outlet. Fine, because you're getting into woodworking and shit. You're getting into the arts, dude. You're pouring yourself now. You're taking all that energy and you're aiming it now and into something.
And that, I mean, and that comes with in the time, you know, like, you know. So again, with the book, like, you know, the reason it's out there, the reason that's, you know, a thing is because I saved all these poems that I wrote and left them in chronological order. You know,
because you're saying the pages aren't numbered.
Yeah, it's just the dates, they're like dates. The date, the month and day that I wrote.
Fucking brilliant, dude.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool, you know. But with that, like, you see a natural progression. Like, you see a man in regret and really trying his best to make the best of this, and, you know, say sorry in the most compassionate way that I felt I could, you know.
Which is sheer effort.
And then you start seeing, like, where I started seeing everything kind of falling apart, and you see a little more desperation, you know, like.
Did you know when you began writing those love poems in the beginning that it would take that fucking turn?
I honestly thought I thought I had something there that, like, I'm like, this is good. If nothing else works, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, I got something here, you know. But so that's what it was kind of good for me, that, like, when it did start going downhill, like, to, you know, because I would try to wrap that into a poem, and, like, hopefully she sees, like, you know, like, where these poems are going now, you know. But that also helped me see, like, she's not seeing these poems really for what they are, you know, and
that's a hollow feeling.
It is. But it's just like, I mean, the art that I seen in it and what I really put forth into these words, you know, like, that's where it was like, if I walk away from this and just, like, erase everything, you know, which I kind of can't because of the kids, stuff like that. But for me to, like, know what it takes for me to move on, like, something has to happen with this. Like, I can't just sit on this art and not, you know, especially, and again, after seeing you do yours, you know, like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like, this, you can do this.
I felt like I was preparing because Book of Wonderful Suffering is about turning suffering into art.
Yes.
I started writing it before my divorce. I felt like almost like I was getting myself ready for the worst. You know, I don't want to say predicting or even causing anything like that, but, like, it's almost like your subconscious mind knows something out of time. You know, which I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask you, like, two questions actually. I guess number one would be, how strange is the irony that although these poems were not received by the person they're intended for, now the world is literally, like, absorbing them and fucking soaking them up, you know?
Now that, now that's the goal. You know,
Right.
now that I'm,
Right.
now that I've healed, I mean, it's always a part of me. It's a compartmentalized piece of me forever and ever, but that's
Right.
okay now. Like
Right.
it's a healthy thing. Like I still love that person, you know, as a
Right.
mother of my kids, you
Right.
know, like
Forever.
I've found something new, which I never thought was possible. You know, it's life is fucking insane, but
Dude.
that is literally the goal now. Like, is the idea of like, just as much as music makes us feel, what we get from hearing other people's music, and you know, like we make that our own. We we're creating our own visuals, our own storyboards,
Right.
everything about it. Like, these are kind of like my songs, but no music to them. You know, with a deep message, and really to end the show like a capability of what a man is very well able to love a woman with, and to at a certain extent find your niche, you know, like that was mine, is writing. You know, I found that with this, you know, deeper and deeper. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a fucking poet.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't know that was there until the suffering brought it out of me, you know. And it, whenever I read your book, it took me on the journey with you. And I don't even know if it was a spoiler, because I knew that dip was coming in the book.
Yeah.
And when I got to that point where it was that desperate, cold, empty, claustrophobic feeling, I mean, I read that part and I was just like, dude, we're all the same.
Yeah.
We are exactly the same. And it's like, and I love the way you embrace the idea of like, healing is not something where you're just like, all right, all better now.
Yeah.
Healing is like, you've got a big fucking wound, but it's not open anymore.
Yeah.
It's scabbed over.
Now it's just a little ugly scar or whatever.
But it's still there.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. But so yeah, you know, I want it to be taken, or I guess that's kind of narcissistically said, you know, like I want it to be this, but like, but that is like what I hope it is like for anyone else to read it and just put themselves there, you know, like, excuse me, prove to yourself, you know, ask yourself the question, like, what is love to you? You know, like, and fucking stand up for it. You know what I mean? Like, and don't feel.
Well, what you're standing up for is you are giving permission to men all over the fucking whoever reads it, or just in general, because you put something into the psyche of mankind like this. It doesn't matter if a person reads it or not. You have added something to the collective consciousness that allows men to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest shit to do.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, you know, that shit's been blasted so much recently, you know, it's like, and it's kind of news. I mean, now it's starting to fade off a little bit, but like when that shit was just new, you know, and it's like, it seemed like everybody in our age group's like, oh, fuck, you know, like, you're right, you know,
dude,
like holding on, like, fuck.
But it's a roller coaster because you, as a man, you're not allowed to feel those feelings of vulnerability.
Yeah.
By not only feeling them, but putting them in a book and being like, I feel all this shit, motherfucker. It takes, see, like with loss in general, especially with the divorce of a family, right? You have two choices. You got two roads you can go down. You can just dwell in that. You could be the guy at the end of the bar. I was fucking petrified.
Which I was that
dude,
a little
right?
bit, you know,
and that happened. So but you explored that avenue.
Yeah. No.
And because that's a way of bottling it up and not, you know, hiding those desperate feelings, you know. Or you can be like, yes, this is real. And by casting it like you have and making it that much actually like tangible in the world, it's like, well, now there's nothing to hide. And it sort of, I don't want to say evaporates, but it makes it air out. Yeah. And you know?
I think too, like one thing of just, you know, about me personally that I feel, you know, I always kind of cheese on, and I think I'm, you know, like my innocence kind of like, I do look at everything kind of really simply, you know, like very deep.
That's Zen.
But the way I try to explain it seems like so simple, you know, to me, you know, like, but it's just, I don't know.
No, I mean, the simplicity of it is what conveys the message without, I mean, bogging it down with. And
Yeah.
that's something
I found my niche, you know, there, and that's.
I have an issue nowadays with these over complex worded YouTube videos and stuff where people throw in like it's probably AI writing the script anyway. But it's in a way you are embracing the opposite of that by giving that's the raw, visceral feeling of what a man went through in that particular spot, you know, and it's like a cathartic. I'm being a hypocrite now using the word cathartic because I'm like just saying vocabulary, but like it creates an I'm not alone type of feeling that is just the groundworks of the most simple that it can be, because like pen to paper, like you were saying earlier, I mean, we didn't have sound, but whenever your pen goes to paper, you're exploding with turmoil, overflowing with it. When the pen hits the paper, it seems to come out with the ink.
Yeah, you're like thinking 1,000 steps ahead, but it's just like flowing right out. You know, like fuck yeah, you know, those aha moments, like eureka.
and that's why I always tell people to start if they want to do something creative, and this goes without even having loss in your life or whatever, but they just feel the urge to do something. And you probably get the same question about being a musician. I get it about YouTube channels. People are like, I want to do this and that, but I don't have this and that. Yeah. I'm like, no, don't have this and that. Start right now.
Yeah.
Write something down. It's like, oh, I don't have it's not that you don't have equipment. You don't have that passion for it yet. You got to fucking start somewhere. And as you write it, those aha moments will.
You have to track it. Like, come. I mean, a big, you know, you as a big book reader, that's, you know, I'm big on Audible now, you know, because just my little ADHD that I got, it just makes me feel right at home. You know, I'll read them, I'll go through them like 2 or 3 times sometimes, because it's like, okay, I did just like read 15 books or listen to 15 books in the last like 4 months, but you know, I'm like looking at myself. Did you? You know, so I'm like, I don't
think it's cheating.
No, and that's what I mean. That's where I just listen to it twice, 2, 3 times sometimes, just so that like I feel more confident about it, what I'm saying, even, you know, or even say I listen that much. But the most underlying thing that I see out of a lot of these books, I mean, of course, I touch a lot on like, you know, self-help stuff, because I'm so interested in the mind and like your feelings, like this whole visceral thing that we're in, you know, like, because that's all it is just a feeling, you know, like
that's a great way to put it, dude. Being in the physical body, you are trapped, stuck with these feelings. So you have, I mean, that's, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like, that's what you have to deal with now.
Yes. Yeah.
There'll be a time and a place where those feelings, you don't have duality anymore.
Yeah.
But right here, right now, in this life, you got it.
Recently, I was like, I had a long night, and I was supposed to pick my daughter up, and I, you know, kind of blew it off a few hours, and then I had to do it. And like, I had my buddy drive, you know, because like, and I was just sitting in the car like, oh, I just can't wait for this feeling to go away.
Oh,
like,
God.
Because, you know, like I'm fucking up a little bit, but I, you know, and I know, but it's also like I'm in the moment. Like, I know there's the feeling, like there it is. Like I can't do it. I see where feel can point right where it's at.
No shit.
But where, you know, and like I'm consciously like, I know this is going to go away. Like, I'm not a fucking bad, you know, like this isn't all the negative stuff that I'm like kind of circling on myself. Like it's not there. And then, you know, but then you let it go. You just let it flow. You see her, you look at, you know, like everything's okay. It's just like, well, I just put myself through all that for nothing, really.
Well,
like,
I wouldn't say for nothing.
Right. You're right. Well, I'm not even putting myself through it, because I'm consciously like trying, as if I could just be like, and just take that feeling right out. That'd be great, you know. But but
you can't trapped with it. But that's what I would want people to know, is that when you're in that state of just grief, almost panic, dude, for real. I wouldn't call it a stretch to say it's a panicky feeling.
Yeah,
you're
very much. Yeah,
your psyche is doing push-ups. You are. I mean, I know I said the push-up analogy earlier whenever I said about writing, but it applies to everything, because it's like exercise. when you're running on the treadmill or whatever, you know that you're going to rest here in about 10 minutes. So you can push yourself harder on that treadmill to really go the distance.
Have you, or the Goggins guy?
Goggins, dude.
Who's
going to carry the boats?
I mean, that's so huge though. Like, yeah, that guy's really extreme. And I mean, on a good level, like, it's very inspirational, but there's so much to take, even on the most layman terms. Like, so much, we are really that much in control. Like,
Yeah, I had no idea.
And now that I do, you know, like, and even more so, like, because I mean, I guess I always kind of felt that, like, I could push myself, but like where that guy has pushed himself, that is like really like
he ran 30 miles on a broken ankle.
Yeah,
that goes to show you mind over matter, dude.
Exactly. No, and that's what I mean. A strong mind, and you know, so just my thing is like I do want to be like that happy light, you know. I'm not trying to run a marathon like that, but I'm trying to prove that you can have a smile on your face all day.
You're the David Goggins of psyche.
Yeah,
dude. For real.
The David Goggins of a smile.
Well, yeah. Well, he needs one.
Yeah,
but, David Goggins said something that it stuck with me for a while. He was like, some people are lucky and some people are talented. Some people are big and strong. He's like, but you ain't. But guess what? You have the privilege now of working 4 times harder than that person, and you will fucking get what you need.
Exactly.
And that's one of those thoughts that only Goggins can twist around like that, because there's 2 ways to look at that.
He's like practicing what he's preaching.
He is, and he's fucking literally is the embodiment of his philosophy. Because most people are like, I would have to work 4 times as hard to have the privilege of most people, and it's a downer. Whereas Goggins is like, motherfucker, you've got to work 4 times harder than the people who are privileged, and you're like, shit, that's an option.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to do. And I can listen to shorts from that.
Yeah,
all day, dude. I haven't bought his book yet, but I mean, I've been meaning to.
Yeah, it's just, you know, again, that's like what turns me on a lot about the Audible is, you know, I can
have it playing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm focused on it, but you know, like driving or something, you know, something the mindless shit, you can just let it in.
Well, it
gets there's so much information out there. Like that's like a buddy of mine. That was what changed it for me. You know, like he was just like,
he introduced you to it.
Well, just hearing him, like he's like, there's just so much information out there. Like, and I'm like. Fuck, you're right. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, like
I could be absorbing that. And dude, honestly, with Audible, and this is the biggest argument for audiobooks, is that not sponsored, by the way, but your subconscious absorbs information even when you're not paying attention. You're fucking spreading butter on the toast, and you're, you know, getting the kids ready for school. You got Audible going in the background. Your fucking subconscious is picking up on that and collecting the information.
And again, that's what, you know, like, because just like as reading a book, like your attention kind of goes a little bit, you know.
One of my biggest struggles.
Yeah. So, you know, it's the same there. That's why I'm like, and listening to it, I feel like because I'll end it, start it right over.
Right.
Like that's. And to me, you know, like I feel, because like who's really like closing a book and then just starting it right back over, you know, like you almost feel like you're wasting your time. Whereas like I feel like I'm taking efficient time to get this knowledge in that I can. And now it's like, I'm at a point, like anything that has a question mark behind it, I'm just going to go find a book about it. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, because that's, why am I 36 years old just now saying this? But I love it. I mean,
that's perfect, dude. Because people, I always hear this all the time, because the fucking books, right? They're like, oh, everything's online now. You can search for it. You get an article for it. A motherfucker. No. Chapter 19 from Carl Jung's fucking Alchemy is not something you can search online for. Now, there's an audiobook for it, yes. But I keep trying to tell people, like, people are always asking, like, why are your YouTube videos are so much different from the others? That's because the people out there making YouTube videos are reading the introduction in chapter 1 and then making a 30-minute video based on that. dude, you get your hands
Touche.
dirty in the trenches and the like deep into
Yeah.
like the fucking 60th chapter of a deep dive book, and you might be the first person looking at that information in 17 years. You know?
Yeah, no, well, with the book too, that's kind of the thing I hope to get out, you know, is like it's like a encapsulated little thing of time, you know, that you see front to back, like, and you can almost just like see the movie line of what I'm saying, you know, like how the relationship went through what, you know, so it's like to be like, you can kind of take it like, oh, do I want it to go that way? Or, you know, like you kind of find things on your own too to like throw your own wrenches in and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
That the way you said that just now made me think of like, what if your book was a write your own ending, or no, not write your own and choose your own ending books for your
dude, that's interesting.
Maybe the sequel, I don't know, but
well, no, I am working like, you know, like I'm kind of sticking to what that idea of the book it was, you know, that stop and smell the flowers, and you know, like I've come into something that's really special, and you know, I'm gonna that's what I'm gonna take. And luckily it's not just this thing I did for this person, you know, it was this thing that turned into this outlet for me that like really I could sit here, have this talk with you, and like call myself a published poet of any sort, you know, like, and hold
that's a good feeling.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
And
so like
there's people who would call that ego, but here's the thing is, dude, you have to have ego.
Yes. I mean, and that's where, you know, a part of what I feel makes me is like, I do have that, of course, like, of course I want your attention. I want to draw you. I want you to make you think in the most positive, optimistic ways I can, you know, like while being real, you know, like, cause we all need the real, we all want the truth, you know, like, and it hurts sometimes, but you know, you can lessen the blow in ways and, you know, make it funny or, you know, just find a brighter side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it, dude, because, man, so like, the other day I was just fresh coming from your book, by the way. I went to like Costco or whatever, dude, and they had all these fucking flowers outside of like before you go hit the groceries, dude. Like a bunch of fucking flowers. It's springtime.
Yeah.
First thing I thought of was Jesse Pollard, by the way, young wildflower. That's what I thought of. But I was in a hurry. I had my cart, and just this normalized white knuckling. I gotta get to the store. I gotta get the groceries. I gotta get back. I have to do this. I have to do this because I have to be at a bed. And you're just like going through this. Like I have to get to this point later in my life as efficiently and quick as possible. And then I saw those flowers, and I was like, well, wait a second. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And I fucking sniffed them. I sniffed all the different colors. Fucking, you know.
That's
People are looking at me weird, like, cause I'm just like empty cart.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm fucking smelling all the flowers and shit. And it's almost like if they were looking at me weird, it's almost like, what do you guys are missing out on this? This is everybody can do this.
It's man, what was the thing I just seen like from Ram Dass? It was like he was talking about like, you know, the woken people, like it's, you know, it's like when you realize that we're all just kind of in a prison, you know, that's when you can kind of work on being free, you know, like because
once you know the bars are there.
Yeah. And like you're just kind of making the bed, like you might be drawing flowers on the walls to smell. Yeah. But we're doing it. You know what I mean? We're smelling the flowers.
That's kind of the Plato's cave allegory, if you think about it, because they think that reality is the shadows on the wall. And whenever they get free, they're free from their chains, they walk outside, they see reality for the first time. It's too bright. They're grimacing. It's painful. They can't see reality because the light, they outside the cave for the first time, or so the parable is, and they can't handle it. They're freaking out, you know, their eyes have to adjust. And it's like, okay, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to this person now that they're out of the cave, but they can't realize it because of how much it hurts. The joy hurts, you know.
Oh, that makes you like, oh.
Well, it's like Well,
Because
people
like,
don't
you
realize they're
feel the
suffering.
sun. Like this is like everything, and they're
Right.
like, "Fuck you!"
this
You know,
guy.
like-
Dude, it reminds me of people who like that Nick Swartzen joke where he's like, "Oh, my buddy, he's every movie he sees, he says it sucks." I'm like, "What'd you think of the new Transformers?" And he's like, "Ah, sucked." And he's like, "Can you imagine someone from the 1920s, right, seeing that shit on a giant screen with surround sound happening in front of them and being like, suck, bro?"
Yeah.
He's like, "You're desensitized. That's all this." He's
Yeah,
like, you
man.
can't.
So that's what like where where my when I said that thing about my innocence,
Yeah,
like
right.
I love to like
You're a puppy, dude. Right.
and like everything's like
Yes.
like I love, but and that's a net, and it's like I don't know, I don't get it, but that it's very freeing. Like
Right.
it makes it like
It's a safe place for other people too.
yeah, it can. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know where to put myself there. Like
Well,
a safe place for other people because
yeah. Well,
like,
let's say I'm fucking walking down the
I
street.
don't want you to like act. I don't want.
Well, no,
you shouldn't
it's
want to
the
like.
opposite.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, think about it. If we're walking down the street and I'm so locked in my fucking mind because shit ain't going right, I'm walking next to you all of a sudden, and you're like, "Dude, the fucking sunset, bro." All of a sudden, I lift my head up and I notice what you are noticing, and I'm like, "Fuck! I didn't even see that shit because
Yeah.
my eyes were right here." And it takes a fucking puppy. Have you ever been? You can't.
It takes a fucking puppy.
It takes a puppy, dude. Have you ever been doom scrolling is what they call it,
Yeah,
right?
oh,
Like doom
yeah.
scrolling, and then you come across the puppy video.
Yeah, right.
And it's just 30 seconds of just absolute. I think it's through your phone even. It's heaven.
Yeah.
You're like, damn. Like, it's all it takes is a damn puppy to make you realize that fucking everything is quite literally beautiful. That beautiful shit ends. That sucks.
Yeah,
But
no, it's inevitable.
it's inevitable.
There's gonna be like there's gonna be more.
There's gonna be more after that.
There's gonna be more.
The
like,
forest fire.
Yeah. I mean, if you just get it under control for
Right.
a while, and
Right.
I mean, some parts will go a little faster,
Right.
like, but
Right.
whatever, man.
That death brings new life.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful suffering, man.
It's wonderful suffering.
it's-
I think you're plugging my book more than I am yours at this point. But that's the point, is that we're sitting here, two divorced men with books out. That and it goes. And by the way, that says two things. First of all, anybody can write a book, but
right, like
to be completely honest, dude,
yeah,
like we probably shouldn't be out there doing this.
I didn't spend a dime either. Like,
Yeah.
and it's,
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice,
just
dude.
the Amazon, like. Anyways, yeah, it's just it is easy, like, especially if you believe in what you're saying. Like,
I paid
and
for
that-
my editing process. They
Yeah.
fucking got me.
well,
with
that's
that
like
shit, right?
I did all my shit on the Notes app.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
my as I was writing them, throughout the day and shit, like it's already like spell checked,
Oh,
like
nice, dude, right.
so like I mean that's why there's a lot of just W's, because rather than the word with. Like,
Oh, that's
'cause
right.
it's like me kind of paraphrasing, like just kind of right, because I would be like at work, like, and just catch a line and be like,
Right.
got like fucking stop what I'm
Right.
doing, get it down, and
That's essential to creativity, by the way. And that's one thing I whenever people ask me, where do I start? Have a notepad on your phone.
yeah,
And just whenever
Yeah.
you get that idea, don't be like, okay, I'm going to hold on to that until the time is right. The time will never be right.
yeah. No,
Fucking put that thought down on your notepad randomly
yeah,
under some miscellaneous bullshit. And then later, whenever you go into bed or whatever, you scroll through
exactly.
all your random
It's the pen
ideas.
to paper,
Right.
but it's just our modern way of doing it because that's what we have on,
Right.
and it's just as easy, like, so thumb to fucking screen, whatever.
Same
You got to
thing,
we got to
Right.
start a new thing. Thumb
Yeah.
to screen.
Like
Thumb to screen.
dude.
That's a whole
Thumb
new
to
fucking
screen.
thumb to screen and breathe. Like, what else do we need?
That's it. Well, they were dissing when the newspapers came out. The old people of then were dissing newspapers, talking about everybody's going to have their nose in a newspaper or whatever. It's just the same shit, dude. Back in Egypt, fucking thousands of years ago, whenever they started at when you chisel the stone, they were fucking we got chiseled the stone now. They were like, No one's gonna remember shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's what they said. The old people did, and they would talk that shit, and guess what got chiseled into the stone? The shit they were talking, and that's how we fucking know. So it's like,
wow,
it's haters wall to wall.
Oh, I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, there almost has to be, but like to hear that sort of like that's
right.
The way it was looked at to be written, like, cause that right there, like nothing really that is. I don't know that because I'm about to say, anything that's written is almost you can't take to heart, but there's people like that write from the heart,
right?
Like, so yeah, it's it's a fucking crazy world out there, man. There's a shit ton of characters too, and
I wonder what it's gonna be next, dude. Like from chisel to stone, pen to paper, thumb to screen.
Yeah.
I'm almost afraid to say next thing you know it's gonna be like mind to ether or something like that.
Right, mind to wire or something like.
Elon Musk just joined the conversation.
Yeah, right. I mean, that is really interesting, but and it, of course, like the first images in my head are like this crazy technological world, but like, I'm sure if it could be like a simple thing that like really just like replaces things for people, like.
Well,
I don't know. It's such a touchy thing,
It is a touchy thing, but what I think they need to bring whatever leaves the soul in the artwork but takes the work out of it is what I think we're going for. Unfortunately, people have used the technology to write the script for them. And it's like, dude, you guys are missing the point of what's happening here.
Yeah, and that's what, like, why is that, like, the people making it, you would hope, like that it's like, I don't know. It's hard. Yeah.
Once they invent it, it's out of their hands. Like you invent the toaster to make toast, but now you fucking got, that's a bad example. Damn. I almost went a whole different direction there, but like, I don't know, fucking a hammer. You can invent a hammer. It's meant to build a shed. It's meant to build things, but people are going to use it now as a weapon. It's unfortunate. The alphabet, it's a tool. You can write beautiful poetry. It's a tool. Or you can write Mein Kampf or whatever Hitler did with the alphabet too.
Yeah, no, that's
and it's out of the inventor's hands. I'm sure the inventors of AI didn't mean for people to write entire essays with it or YouTube videos or books with it. Because, dude, I don't know about you. I can tell. I've been more avid on YouTube lately, so I see what's going on.
Yeah,
and dude, whenever I start a YouTube video, I can almost tell in the first 30 seconds if AI wrote it because there's no pain in it, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of Audible stuff or any book that you listen to that you kind of question that too. Like, is there like...
That's why I like the old guys.
Yeah.
Dead guys.
I like, and it's, I certainly appreciate anytime I come across one where it's like the author reading it or, like they could say a name for anyone else, but like it just seems like some things are just so robotic. Like, it's like, I'm going to read you this book, like, okay.
Dude, it's weird and it's cold. And I've never felt so connected to the words of dead men. Who, especially ones who died early, and not to promote any particular type of author, but I've noticed a pattern, dude. Itzhak Bentov, I was on a spiel of his. He died in a plane crash young, right? There's a lot of weirdness around that, but not to get into conspiracy. But when you read his work, you almost go, he was on to something. Yeah. And he worked for the CIA, by the way. So whenever he was writing his books, his work for the CIA was not declassified. And you're like, he wrote a book for the public. Yeah. And then he died early. It makes you kind of think, So in a world of AI, I feel like that people in the future will almost find an antique type of value in books written by guys who are dead. Alan Watts, Joseph Campbell, who I think you just kind of got into a little bit.
Yeah, thanks to you.
Dude, and I will listen to Joseph Campbell on YouTube as if it's an audiobook. Just let it play. because this is a man who is so certain of his work that it doesn't matter if he's technically right or wrong,
dude,
because his interpretation of these myths are speaking to the collective mind of humanity.
No, and that is like the way you just described that is literally the biggest thing that I get from his words. Like,
right.
And honestly,
you read,
like that conviction of just like plain and simple, like like come on, guys,
right?
Like that's certainly like a part of me. Like that's what it can be that simple. Like it certainly can be. Like it's not, but it can be.
It's not, but it can be. To smell the flowers, you can sit there and be like, okay, technically the sense of smell goes through these neurons or whatever, and then you smell it in your own brain. So the flower is really not even existing in the first place. It's your brain's interpretation, the neurons. And you're like, hold the fuck up, dude. Yeah. What's that shit smell like?
Cannot compute.
Right. Yeah. It's like, so Joseph Campbell steps
now
in.
I have anxiety.
Right. That's what I think the dilemma with science is that we got a bunch of dudes. Joe Rogan has this fucking joke in one of his comedy bits. He's like, the end of the world is going to be somewhere at CERN, where a guy's been popping Xanax all day. It's like, fuck it, hit the button. Let's see what happens. Instead of enjoying these beautiful scientific findings that they are observing and taking in and writing down, they want to push that shit. They're like, okay, yeah, we see what the atom's doing. We're studying what the atom's doing. Let's see what happens though if we fucking smash them together. And what causes black holes? Hit the button. Yeah. And you're like, dude, hold up. Like, why can't we enjoy the naturalness of science?
Yeah. Like, we're already trying to take it a step further. Like, we haven't even got to enjoy it. Dude. Like what the fuck? Like, yeah, we got something good here.
Right.
Fucking hold the brakes a minute.
Let's report on it. Let's fucking see what's going on. And it's concerning, dude. Especially with CERN. I mean, I don't know if you've seen like what they're doing.
I can't. I would.
But
not really.
That's something that I could try to avoid if I wanted to, but I can't avoid it because it's just like right down my alley of shit or whatever.
No, of course.
But they're taking reality and smashing it into reality and going, let's see what happens. That's the most simple way to put it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's like where they have the big like tube thing.
Yes. Oh, that's the one.
Okay, yeah.
And their goal is to find the Higgs boson, which is basically how do we rip we want to rip a hole in what?
They found the Higgs. Years
Did
ago.
they?
Yeah.
It's like the shadow of the Higgs, right? So like they're like, let's rip a hole in reality and see what that does. Yeah. And you're like, bro, I don't know if this is such a good idea, but again, they're so driven by results. Who can get the furthest?
Dude, that is like that's like simple greed.
It's kind of greed of the intellect.
Or
it might be greed of money too.
Oh yeah, I mean they're trying to get fucking, but that's where we're getting all fucked up. It's like nobody can pay for any of this shit anyway. Right. Like,
well, that's the thing.
And if we held on to this thing for 10 years, maybe we could catch up a little bit. Then they'd really blow their fucking minds.
Dude,
like
what's always bugged me is that they want to rip reality open and study it. They got all the funding they want in the world, whereas there's no funding for DMT. If you fucking fund DMT, now you get to explore ripping reality open without the risk of making
I'll tell you
a
what,
black
when that
hole.
ETF opens up on that shit, I fucking tell you what.
I think they're taking volunteers right now. I'm not sure, but your face has changed. You're just like, what?
If anybody knows anything, please.
Hey, if you guys know where that volunteer sign up is or whatever. I got an email. They were looking for people signing up for studies, but it was for what was it for? Not Ibogaine. It was for like whatever peyote becomes.
Well, you know what? The ETF and for the stocks. That's what. Because I got a few shares in like psilocybin ETFs. Yeah, I just think
How do you do that? Because I tried. I went to.
This is something I'm happy to even just kind of express, like, because this is, and then this isn't like the best, but like, gosh, there's just like so much stuff out there that like, fuck, if things were like said at an earlier time and in a more a manner that I could digest, like just how different things could, again, grateful, but like, it's kind of the shit that you naturally do. You're like, well, fuck, what if, kind of, like, but it's like kind of just being fucking smart with your money. Like the pen to paper thing goes so much further than just your emotion. Like, and what I was getting at too is like the books that I have been reading, like the self-help stuff, like those underlying things is like tracking your day, tracking your money, pen to paper, fucking.
This is like long-term meditation because you're tracking your thoughts,
dude. And when you're doing it, like everything is slowing down.
Yeah.
Like that's where I kind of feel right now is like.
Right.
Like everything is just nice and at a breeze. Like
we need shit to slow down, dude, because seems like time is speeding up,
man. And especially if you have kids, like that time is just so precious. Like and you see how fast it really just goes past you. And anyone that's watching can relate. Like it's just like, and right now, it just seems like it's going so much faster than it ever has. Maybe it is, like
right. And maybe Terrence McKenna has a theory about that.
Yeah.
And by the way, if speaking of Audible, Terrence McKenna, bro, like check out his theories. But he finds that the more that there are events, the more activity in a particular pocket. That's Dr. Pickles, by the way. How you doing, buddy? The more events there are, the faster time goes. And he's got a good point. Because look at
that's what, and that kind of like what they say, like times always goes faster when you're having fun.
Right. The time goes faster when you're having fun. When you're bored, it slows down, right?
Yeah.
So we seem to be accidentally creating our own acceleration of time. And this is dangerous because we all want to live and we want to smell the flowers, but it's zipping away fucking quick, dude. And I mean, like, okay, how many years ago did we play the Mafic fucking party?
Oh my God. That was like, 05.
Tell me it's
04, 05.
Right. It seems like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We did that shit 20 fucking years ago, dude.
Dude, that's fucking insane. And then still, that's what, like, playing music, people are like, oh, it's so cool that you still play music. It's like, what made you think I was gonna stop?
Still,
it's still that's like I still get nervous every time I go out and play. That little bit of butterfly,
right?
And that, but also that fucking satisfaction and proudness that I feel when I get done.
Right.
It's like fuck like dude, what is better than that? Or again, what's your niche that makes you feel that you can naturally.
That's what I want to. If people say, "Oh, it's so cool that you're still playing music," be like, "Oh, dude, it's so cool that you still have eyes. Wow, look at you go.
Great,
you still have skin, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking shit.
Yeah,
this is this is the person who I am in my truest form, and I am willing to be vulnerable and expose that constantly, all of the time, because that's who I am. Whereas, like, it's still playing. People treat it as if it's badminton. Or like baseball or something that you can grow out of. It doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you what, man, like in that marriage too, like, and like you said, like you kind of foresaw the end,
right,
like
subconsciously.
And even though it really affected us a lot, like we kind of knew, like it was that was happening. So it's like the growing out of it is kind of the part of it too, you know what I mean? Or I mean, what we were saying, like, I feel like I'm kind of digressing on that a little bit.
No, digress. That's what this chat is about.
Yeah, of course.
But that's
I mean, it's like when you're saying with the baseball, like people think it's something that you grow out of, like, It's just, I just didn't have you either have the outlet or you don't, You know what I mean? Like I felt like I was literally like closing myself off to be committed to something that and I wasn't like growing out of myself. I was just keeping it all in, like it's like I wasn't growing out of love, like it's like, oh, this honeymoon phase or no, like that's pish posh, like what it is like how you see it and what you're determined, and also for me, in my case, like I feel lucky to, again, like it's just a natural feeling, like it's a very authentic, like
that's the
Jiminy Cricket type thing, you know, like
Jiminy Cricket thing,
yeah,
dude.
that's my dude, like that's my guy, man.
Yeah, my Carl Jung is your Jiminy Cricket dude.
Yeah.
Well, it's authenticity is quite literally the most important. People say love is the most important thing, and it is very important. But without authenticity, you don't even have love.
Touche.
That's the foundation right there. And I've noticed that the people who freak out from their depression, and just disclaimer, by the way, everyone's depressed. Yeah. That's just it. Like, but the people who freak out because of their depression, I've noticed a pattern. They don't have hobbies.
Yeah.
Well, they pour themselves into their financial job or whatever it is, which is good to do.
And they become like robots and assholes and people that other people can't deal with, like
it's unfortunate to see.
Yeah.
But if you try to like be like, okay, get a hobby, build birdhouses, do something like what, and usually that works. But what breaks my heart the most is whenever someone's having a hard time and you ask them, hey, let's figure out what's the hobby for you, right? What's something you've always been passionate about? And they got nothing.
Yeah.
It almost makes you like your heart break for society, because you mean to tell me you fucking grew up from being a baby without accidentally stumbling across something that you were fucking obsessed with? Yeah. For me, it was Greys, the aliens. As silly as that sounds, it was the Greys. I wanted to know everything about the Greys. What the fuck is going on with that? Where did they come from? What's their agenda? I have come no closer since then.
Still just as excited to fucking read more.
Yes, right. And it's almost like you don't have to have an end game to your hobby.
No, yeah.
There's no finish line. But that's the point. That's the point. That's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's what, keeps you relevant, and also like you said, authentic, man. That's just simply it. Like, we could find every adjective or any other way to describe it, but that's just
to make it simple.
Yeah,
that's authenticity. Is doing what your soul wants to do.
Well, I'll tell you, I've never, me, it was always my hobbies. Like, what I'd never had the answer for is like what I wanted to be.
No shit.
I grew up, like,
that makes sense.
I don't know what the like.
Right.
Like I never said like I wanted to be a cop or a firefighter. I never never was that even like in my head. Like I was drawing at
why that
kindergarten. So it's like it was like something was already like well, don't even think about that.
Look what we do to kids though, and that's us too. When we were kids, they were like, here's your categories. Yeah, this is what you get to have dreams. This is what
you like see a list, like what from like 100,000 down to like 50,000. What like type of careers there are, and that was like in first grade.
How are we supposed to know that we had to create that job? That we had to. YouTube didn't exist when I was a kid. So and white boy reggae didn't exist while you were a kid. So
I mean, well, there was UB40. I mean,
I didn't know. I don't know. But that it goes to show you that you're like the teacher is like, no, I get it. But the teacher is like, you can be a policeman, dress up on Monday. We're all gonna dress up. What do you want to be when you grow older? And you're like, I want to show up with regular clothes because I don't fucking know. And it goes to show you like I want to create the thing that I want to be when I grow up or whatever.
That's the only answer that I've had, and I mean, at 36, I'm just getting to that.
Right.
I'm just getting like I want to be an artist.
Right.
Like,
you're not late.
It's perfect. Like I think it's perfect. Like the music, like it's unfortunate I don't have anything out, but I think it's so great. I mean, we have like a couple of videos, like the YouTube video. Like there's some ways to hear the songs, but like. It's not yet.
Dude, honestly,
but I can't. I'm not mad at that at all because where my voice has come from where they could have been and maybe should have been first record, but now what I know is going to be put out there to justify my message and what like I am standing behind these
Right.
words so much stronger, you know.
Dude, don't be pressured to put your shit on Spotify and Pandora,
yeah,
because that's tempting to do because more people will hear it. But if you start up a Bandcamp page, like for example, the soundtrack of The Untold, you know, with the music that we put on this channel,
right.
it's not available on Spotify. There's a damn good reason for that. It's not because I didn't publish it. It's because I want it to come from me specifically.
Yeah.
And if when you like a Bandcamp or whatever, you can set your own price. You can make it $0,
Yeah,
whatever. You'll be surprised. People will pay you put $0 in on Bandcamp. People will fucking throw you $20 for your music.
Oh,
you know,
wow, yeah.
because it's
kind of like a big tip jar.
It's a tip jar,
yeah.
right? If you put it up there for $12, the psyche goes, damn, that's a little pricey. You put it up there for $0, they're like, you know what? I like where he's going with this. I'm gonna give him $12. You know, it's a weird thing. So you make it free, but you don't force it to be free with Spotify. And dude, honestly, I don't have to tell you what Spotify has done to recorded music is what pay to play has done to fucking live music.
Yeah,
and it's sad, dude.
It is, yeah. I mean, as a Spotify user, you know, it's like that part of me is like,
yeah, right. We're hypocrites.
What do you want to listen to? Because I got it.
Right. Damn.
But goddamn, dude, that's so crazy too. Because we're, you know, we come from the fucking LimeWire generation,
right?
And you know, back when I honestly didn't even have that option of any sort. Right. You know, like, right. And now it's all just like right here,
dude.
What the fuck? Like, just man. I mean, of course, it's like if anything was different, this would be different.
Right.
Just goddamn, I would. It's been so great to not have to like tape a Korn song off the radio. Yeah. You know,
we had a cassette tape in the radio ready whenever we heard John Davis fucking start those couple words.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Exactly.
Hit the record button real quick. And then we listened to it after that. We were like, I got it. The DJ's talking shit halfway through. You're like, oh. But dude, that goes to LimeWire goes to show you that the collective consciousness of mankind literally predicts the future. Like, think about it. We were all stealing music with LimeWire. Mm-hmm. What did the world do after that? They just
kept stealing it.
They kept stealing it, but this time made it legal. Made it so, okay, this is what we're gonna do anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just make it for free then. And I mean, that's not a good thing, but it goes to show you that we can control it. We project reality. We can make these things different. We can make these things change. Like, so we all stole music. That's whatever. But it's the same. It's the same thing with YouTube. You know that where you put your attention is where the future is going to go.
Yeah. No. And the manifestation of life, you know, like that's, and I mean, I'm trying to my best to ride that wave right now, like, and it's so great, like, you know, the momentum's kind of building, like, I mean, dude, I just quit my job today, like, my job of 9 years.
Oh my god!
I quit my job. Like,
this is the scariest shit I've ever heard.
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous right now. I'm like, don't make me think too much about it. I'm a little nervous, but I do. You know,
brought it up, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm so confident. Like, I have like a whole newfound confidence in myself. Like, a lot of it is the people around me. You know, like a lot of people don't even know, and it could be like a, you know, like, oh, what, you know, but that's it. That where my head is at. Like, I'm in a place like that just puts it like, let's fucking prove them right, you know, or prove them wrong, whichever it is, like that's, and you know, if I didn't go through what was that created the book, and you know, like, you know, it's just one of those, like, fuck, man, it's just wonderful suffering. Like, why are we fucking, you know, you're gonna sit and complain about it though, like,
in a way,
instead of just try to find and make it better. You're like, let's push forward, because there's a brighter side to it all.
Yes.
Like, there's, you know, like, again, it simply can be.
It simply can be. And this is gonna sound kind of condescending to say, but I fucking mean it. I feel bad for people who have not had tragedy in their life. Because they don't have any fucking character. Yeah. No, they got personalities.
Yeah.
But I see a lack of wisdom with people who have mommy daddy money, or never had heartache or a fucking. I know divorce is prevalent now or whatever.
Yeah, but there is worse things out there.
There's worse things, but if I see a person who everything in their life was kind of taken care of for them, they're an NPC to me.
Yeah,
and I can't shake that. I know that's not fair.
No, it's not. But you take it respectfully, so which is because I look at it the same. Like, and I do feel like my dark side, like, but it's like, like rather than even just going like, like let's just keep the wall up, like keep it, because like, man, if we try to engage in it all, we're not going to get anywhere.
You just freak out. Right. Do the thing in front of you.
Just
and then move
fetal
on to
position
on the
floor. Like that's like, numb. That's it. Like fucking just close the box, nail that motherfucker shut.
If you are in the fetal position, be in the fetal position all the way.
Yeah.
Do it. Fucking shiver on the floor. Piss yourself. Like fucking run the bathroom water, whatever you want. Yeah. Suck on a wet towel. Like be all the way that shit, because it's temporary. It's going to be bad right now. Let it be all the way bad right now.
Dude, and you know what? It's like, and with my kids, it's so crazy. Like, being me and like seeing like how that's going to, of course I know what I want in my children and what I want to, what my legacy to be, this thing of love and like light and shit. Like, because I'm just the same, fucking consistent me, like in front of them too, like.
Right. That's difficult, by the way.
It is. What? No, not honestly. No.
I had
honestly
a hard time.
That's what, again, like grateful.
Yeah.
Benji, grateful.
Right.
Like.
Dude.
Because, dude, it is a very natural thing for me. Like, and
that's
so
beautiful.
With the kids though, man, like seeing the. Ruby is real quiet and to herself and more like me, so I'm trying to like become more of like a water slide for her. Like we can get through, like, this is like, I was there, like, let's get down at the end of this tunnel, like that's how the continuous thing is with her, but in a great, beautiful way. Mm-hmm. My son, River, this dude he's 5 years old and he will stop me like, you're making me angry, like, you're making me sad. Like, it's like so beautiful, like that he's like able to like grasp this moment and kind of give you the like, hey, this is where I'm at, like it gives you the opportunity to like, we can figure, and not that that's his mentality, but like that's how I look at it, like the way, well, because I respect the fucking fact that he's even able to say this sentence, like some kids are just losing their shit, I mean, and he'll have a fucking kick and screaming fit sometimes, but it's just like he feels it, and then when it's done, it's like, I love you, but just that filtering process and
the simplicity of it. I was in one of my darkest moments, dude. I was looking for a house. I had not gotten this house yet, and I was looking for a fixer up or something I afford. The fucking market was insane, dude.
Yeah,
and I was in my car, driving to 3 different open houses, white knuckles for no reason, in a rush for no reason. I got all day to see these houses, whatever. But I'm just in a rush for the next step. And my son was in the car. And I realized I'm supposed to be like pretending, to be happy and all that shit.
Yeah.
I find a great amount of difficulty doing that.
No,
so I just, all I could do was basically not lose my shit in front of him. That was the idea, right? And he could tell. But because he could tell, he was like, what we need? We need ice cream. That's exactly what he said. He's like, what we need? We need ice cream. That's exactly what we did too. Awesome. We just went to go get ice cream, and we just had our fucking ice cream.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's smelling the flower.
Yeah. Well, and then, that's so with that too, like even the yin yang, like, like I am like bright and shiny, but like there is, like the real, like
there's that dot.
Yeah, man, and it's my kids see it and they respect it. You know, like when my voice changes and my demeanor, or like you were saying, like what I'm feeling, I am showing.
Right.
Like I can't, like it's hard for me to, white knuckling, like you said, like that's very relevant in any, like when I'm happy, I'm just happy. And luckily, I have on my big graph, there's a big part of that piece of the pie that's happy, you know.
Right.
But there's that fucking slice that is just fuck. And I do
It's
have
there.
a hard time, you know. And that's my thing is keep like I don't like that there. I don't like being there.
Right.
So I found make tools in my head to like get away from that shit.
Right.
These different outlets, you know.
Well, and that's the outlets are a way to embrace that dark part of the pie graph.
Yeah.
You know,
Very,
because if you ignore it, it grows.
Exactly.
And it becomes bigger in your life and in your external life. And that's what I think a big theme of this chat and your book should like kind of teach people is that the pie graph, that dark portion, that dark dot in the yin and yang will grow the longer that you ignore it, right?
Yeah.
But if you get in there and fetal position, fucking sit in that bitch for a hot minute, feel it, you know, don't cover it up with anything and just expose yourself to it. It shrinks, it grows in your internal. You're encompassed by it. It's everything, right? But on the outside of yourself, it starts to shrink down because that follows the yin and yang too.
Yeah.
The more you feel it internally, the less it manifests itself externally.
Very much,
you know. But you can't complain about it whenever you feel it because you're just fucking casting it back.
That's it. It's like it's just like if you can just keep your mouth shut with a lot of things,
dude.
You know, like dude, it is. But I mean, it really is, man. But when you care enough about the people around you, like no matter who it is, stranger or not, that filter, at least is very much on. Like I'm very like careful with my words, you know, not to press anything, and not to, you know, like.
And this isn't saying don't have that moment where you pour your heart out to the bartender. Like that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
That's what that's meant to do. Have that night. Experience that. But whenever you wake up the next day with your little hangover or whatever, drink some fucking vitamin water and shake that shit off and turn it into art.
Yeah.
Because complaining, then that's what I kind of want to clarify is that we're talking about, okay, don't complain about these things because then it makes it grow externally. And then someone might be watching this, be like, bitch, you wrote a fucking book about it and 3 songs about it, whatever. Like, don't be a hypocrite. This is alchemy. This is the difference between complaints and alchemy. This is the idea of stand-up comedy, if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
The worst thing, hypothetically, that could happen to a person could be told verbatim by a stand-up comic and just bring joy to fucking an entire room of motherfuckers. And that's the idea. That's the book. That's the music. That's the stand-up comedy. That's the idea of alchemy turning lead into gold, is that now it's done. That has happened. Or maybe you're even going through it, you know?
Yeah.
But as long as you can fucking kind of bend reality in that way to make it into something creative, all of a sudden it's not fucking you in the asshole.
Yeah.
You know? It still hurts, but it's become something. There's a 21 Pilots song where he says something about a splinter in his skin. And if you can hold it, then you're the one who will push it in. All of a sudden, it hurts a little less. Like you're the one controlling how much it hurts in that moment. Because you've turned it into a form of art for other people to consume and judge. And if we're lucky, be inspired by.
But,
you know,
and then, I mean, again, but like that's kind of the fun of it, you know, like just getting it out there. Because I mean, I'm certainly my goal, even though it's my stuff, like my thoughts and words in any poem or song, like I want you to think. I want you to like just think, you know, like. You know, because my stuff is very back and forth on like I'm kind of hurt, but everything's okay. And it's got this kind of reggae vibe that's like, like why am I dancing? But this feels pretty sad a little bit, you know.
This isn't you telling somebody something; it's allowing them to think for themselves and come up with their own.
Very much, exactly that.
What's up, dude? What do you got there?
Every year, Old Spice rescue crews save millions of innocent durlings from flat, dry, and dull-looking hair.
We just got They can't see your head, by the way.
I know. I'm looking up there.
He can see himself. All right. This is funny. Is like he's too young to ever have known the song just to accept through. Yeah. Australian music. Hey, buddy. I think we're gonna have Benji play a song here in a second, dude. But thank you for your 2 cents. What did this even come from? You're dancing too fast. This is a slower song. What are you doing? I don't even know if they can. Okay. No. Oh, he's really jamming now. Okay. Is that the floss?
Yeah.
He did this one as a baby. Floss. Yeah, he did the floss thing. Oh, I didn't know you could do the remix with the hand behind the back. Damn.
That's from Fortnite.
Okay.
And also, guys, I got 2 rings now instead of 1.
Nice. Okay. Thank you for letting us know. All right. Good to see you, buddy. Oh my God. That's awesome. See, that's a little bit of fucking smelling the flowers right there, I suppose.
Yeah, dude. Very much, man.
It's ironically kind of divides the crowd. There's like 5% of people in the YouTube comments who are like, hey, try to be more professional. And then there's the 95% of people who are like, I love that when we watch your videos, we're like in your house.
Yeah.
And like, as you know what? I'm going to go with the.
Dude, that's fucking special for sure.
Speaking of which, he might not be the only one trolling us. Before you play, the cat was like heavily loving your guitar. I don't know if it came out of tune. It was messing with the.
Did it?
Right? But.
No, it should be all right.
I was looking at it and I was seeing the dots on the bottom side of the neck, and I was like, how does he see those? And I realized I was like, okay.
Well, I did that. That's fingernail polish.
Oh, is that really? Ah, nice,
What are we
dude.
having for dinner?
Huh?
What are we having for dinner?
Dinner?
Yeah.
Whatever you want. What do you want?
Can we order pizza?
We can order pizza. That sounds good, buddy.
Yes!
All right.
I know a better area.
What?
It's about like 20 minutes away now.
20 minutes away. We're gonna order pizza to the house.
No, it's not a pizza place. It's an Italian pasta place.
Oh, okay. All right.
Me and Mom wanted to go there, but there's too long of a line.
Yeah, I hate that.
On a freaking Thursday.
On a Thursday?
Yeah.
A long line? All right. We'll consider it. I think I might end up ordering food instead, but
We can also do a reservation.
Congratulations.
No, it starts with an R.
Reservation.
Oh,
Yeah.
reservation. I got you. Thank you for translating.
Yeah.
I will make those calls here shortly, buddy. But we're gonna finish up our little podcast. What have we done so far? What's the time on this, bitch?
Hey, that shows them what happens when you guys eat this.
Hey, Summer,
I'm not
what's
taking another
up?
bite of that.
Thank you for letting me know, dude. No, I don't
You guys
trust.
wanted
I don't
to
trust
see
none of that
reaction?
shit anymore, dude.
You guys want to
My-
see the
My son gave me some
reaction of
Japanese food. It is awful.
This is just a bad flavor.
It's
Milk tea.
yeah. I think it's meant to be bad, and I think they're laughing at us all the way from Japan for having tried it in the first place. But no, get that. Come back to me with some powdered donuts. We'll talk then. All right, Mr. Pokemon.
1 bite.
No, I don't want 1 bite.
Eat half of it. and
I
show
want
them.
I want 0 bites.
A nibble.
All right, I will.
But it has to go inside it.
This is not.
That didn't go
better.
inside it.
No, this is not better.
Nibble. Nibble. Nibble.
No nibbles, buddy.
Fuck.
But we are going to finish our podcast, dude. Benji's gonna play us a song.
I
So do you
haven't
wanna sit down?
tried this that much yet, so I'm gonna try it in front.
All right, give him. Yeah, go ahead. You're gonna make the same face I did. Next time you should come out, you should bring your kids too.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just let them take over the chat. Last time I was sick after a premiere for the after chat or whatever, I gave my son the phone. I was like, you get the chat now. You get the post premiere chat. Just go do whatever, answer questions. Have fun. He went downstairs and we had this virgin margarita thing that Jacinda got, for Emma because she wanted margaritas. He didn't say it was a virgin margarita. He sat there in front of live everybody and made a drink and then drank it. I didn't know what was going on. And then I started getting emails from people being like, dude, your son's drinking. You're sick on the couch. Knock it off. The kid gets me in trouble. And he thinks it's funny. All right.
I want another one of those.
You want the virgin margaritas? They're
No, a real one.
Oh, my God. All right. Walk your ass that way. Don't trip over the wire.
I would like vodka.
Vodka?
Yeah.
Vodka?
Yeah. Vodka.
The kid's got a fascination with different cultures. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Russian culture or whatever.
And also, I can do a bit of a Mario thing. Sickle.
Nice, dude. Okay.
Italian.
That I think we might be bridging the gap of racism on that.
What do you mean?
But
It's not racist.
do the Mario thing one more time. Do it again.
Sickle. Come on, you.
All right, buddy. All right. Well, all right. So, give us a preface. What do you got going on?
I mean, I guess this is just one of the songs from a brighter side that I wrote. It's I wrote it a long time ago, but this was in a different realm, like when I was kind of in another spot of suffering, you know, but
right,
like kind of looking at it as like I know it's better, you know, and like but I was also on the up and up too, you know. I was kind of at the end of it, and yeah, it's just kind of for
that's
everyone.
that perfect moment to transmute the pain into something else.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is, you know.
Dope.
But yeah, so this is
perfect.
The song is called "A Sing Along."
Get some, bro.
Close your eyes and follow me, and soon we all will see a better man, a planted tree, manifesting all your needs that once was lost. Now I see endless possibilities for an open mind and melodies that we all can sing along and not feel left astray. A common ground where we can all relate, to come and see and conquer all as one, and love all lives under this big bright sun. May we sing, whoa, oh, the love is coming back, whoa, our minds fall off the tracks, whoa, oh, the love is coming back, whoa. It's literally making my day. You recognize there's a bigger prize for some of us who wait and fantasize of a better life. Our own destinies we make, so take a knee or plant a tree. Believe in what it is you need to love and grow successfully, and teach everyone to sing along and not be left astray. A common ground where we can all relate, to come and see and conquer all as one. And love all lies under this big bright sun. May we sing, oh, oh, the love is coming back, oh, our minds fall off the tracks, oh, the love is coming back, oh, whoa. May we sing, oh, oh, the love it's coming back, whoa, our minds fall off the tracks, whoa, oh, the love it's coming back, whoa, the love is coming back. Oh, our minds fall off the tracks. Oh, the love is coming back.
Oh shit, dude! I swear, I love my job so much.
I love you so much.
That is literally the perfect the perfect way to embrace what we're like talking about today, which I know is obvious, but the love is coming back, dude.
Yeah.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so
Yeah, look.
much, man.
Dude. Awesome.
Did you see it?
Do I see what?
You missed it.
I must have missed it, but I see what you got going. That is the perfect ending to this podcast,
Yeah,
dude.
thank you
I want
guys
them.
so much.
Hold on.
Hey,
I'm gonna take them.
Benji's links will be in the description. Guys, check out his music, check out his book, and check out all that stuff. And thank you very much for coming on again.
Yeah,
man.
no. Thank you,
Had a
man.
great
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Check out To a Silhouette on Amazon.
All
I
right.
want to do something real quick. Alright, I just have to turn off the camera real quick.
You have to turn
Not
off the camera.
Ever, but like so it can't see. Like do that.
Okay.
Could you hold this here?
No, why?
I'm gonna do something. Just put your hand right here.
All right, all
Don't
right.
get into it yet.
All right, what am I doing?
Just keep it so they can't see.
Okay.
Grabbing something.
What do you have up your sleeve, kiddo?
Don't get.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Well, make it quick. We had like a badass whole ending there. It was like a nice crescendo. The credits are rolling. Everyone's enjoying themselves.
How the frick do you put this on?
That's what I'm saying. I know. The guy who does the masks for Mushroom Head made this.
No shit.
Yeah.
I thought you made this.
You got to go underneath it.
I just did myself to the
All right, come here.
What? No! I was gonna jump scare them.
You were gonna jump scare them.
Yeah, ow! One of the nails.
Well, you gotta be careful. It's got screws and nails all in it. So there you go. Pull those tight, and now you can
It's
show
good,
everybody. There you go.
Oh, there's the camera. That-
And there for everybody is the mask that was used in human pollution. Must have been
Hi
1,000
there.
damn years ago.
Hi there.
But thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna check out your comments tomorrow morning. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Take it easy now with the